Hustleburg. This podcast is all about small business in St. Petersburg, Florida, how the business owners got started, how they built their business, and how they serve our community. I'm Brett Bittner, and I'm the host of Hustleburg, and I started Beyond Your Side Hustle, a marketing firm where we help budding entrepreneurs go beyond their side hustles and ditch their 9-to-5s. As the founder of a small business here in St. Pete myself, I love meeting and talking with fellow small business owners. Lucky for you, I also like to record those conversations for you to listen to. If you find anything of value in this episode, I encourage you to subscribe to the podcast because there are probably more nuggets in other episodes, both past and upcoming. It would also be great if you rate and review the episode to let us know what you got out of the conversation. If you have a question about marketing, building your brand, or operating your small business that you'd like to have answered on a Q&A episode, please visit beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast question to submit it. In this episode, I have the opportunity to talk with Realtor Trent Smith. Enjoy! The first question that I ask everybody is why? Why is it that you are in real estate?
Well, I am from Louisiana, and at the time I was in school for drafting and design. I was going to work at engineering firms to, design structures and stuff like that. But I had gotten laid off my first job, so I have a background on like waiting tables and bartending. So one day I was just waiting tables. I was selling pizza, and I was thinking, man, I really like doing this. But obviously, waiting tables isn't a very sustainable career for a lot of people, especially for me. So I was thinking, what can I do that's like this, but at a bigger scale? And I'm standing there and busting a table, and I'm just like, man, I should get into real estate. It's something I always wanted to do. I just didn't know where to start. And I think that holds a lot of people up from pursuing what they want to do, is they don't know how to take the first step. So I got laid off my job, like I said. Me and my wife moved here to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I had gotten another job in the similar field for drafting and design. And after about 15 months, I got laid off again. So I said, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta get into real estate because I'm tired of getting a job and then losing it, and I have no control over that.
Sure.
So I said, I need to get into real estate because number one, I like people. I like communicating with people. I like meeting people. I've always been a friends guy. So that was my first thing. Is I'm a people person first. I don't care about the commission check.
Okay.
Obviously, I need it, but I don't do it for the commission check. I do it because I want to service people. I want to meet people. I want to make friends. I want people to like me. So I said, I got laid off that second job. I'm like, all right, I'm going to become a realtor now because I'm tired of being told when I can work. If I'm a realtor, I can just go out and get it myself.
Okay. So you talked about the first step. What was your first step jumping into the field?
I went on Amazon. I bought a book. It was probably something called like How to Be a Realtor or something. I read it over and over. I highlighted it. I marked it up like crazy. And then I went on the internet, after probably months of not doing any action. I just went online. All right, I'm going to go in the first online school that pops up. So I went on there, and in 4 to 6 months, I was a licensed realtor. Okay. So what type of houses are you commercial real estate? What is your niche in the real estate field? Who are you looking to serve? Interesting question. There's a lot of niches in real estate, obviously, which makes it so cool. But the one that I focus more in is, since I'm a 31-year-old, I know a lot of people my age. Okay. So I focus a lot on first-time home buyers because people like my friends, they want to buy a house. So that will be one of them, the first-time home buyer who is buying their first house. And in Florida, what's really cool, a lot of states have this, is if you're a first-time home buyer, you can buy a house with a low down payment. Okay. It's like a first-time home buyer assistance program. So for anyone out there who's thinking about buying a house, all you have to do is just talk to a lender and see what you can get pre-approved for, because that would be a big thing. And another thing I do is I do some door knocking and cold calls on expired and for sale by owners, and do some door knocking. So that would obviously mean my other niche would be, selling houses, the people's first house or their second house, what have you. So first time home buyer, and then people looking to make another move. Okay.
So what is it that you do to help build your business? How are you marketing yourself? I noticed that you're a part of eXp Realty. Is that helpful to you being a part of a brokerage? Because so much of what you do is kind of on your own. So kind of give us an idea of how it is that you're building your clientele, how you're building your book, and how you're utilizing being under the eXp umbrella.
Okay, well, first of all, eXp is an online cloud-based brokerage. There is no office, so I don't see other realtors in my brokerage that often. But one thing I do have is I have a couple mentors in my brokerage that I can call anytime I want. I utilize that a lot. I call them a lot. And they answer. I ask them questions. They're very experienced. So that would be the best thing for someone who was new at the time, like myself, is to have someone you can ask questions to. So how am I getting business is there's kind of three things I focus on. Number one is just going out, networking, being social, talking to people. I have a gift of walking up to people and introducing myself, and then I'll strike up a conversation. There's things I can ask to kind of lead into, oh, by the way, I'm a realtor. So talking to people. I do a lot of social media. I do videos, collaboration, stuff like this. I try to do that. So I utilize a lot of social media, but that's just something, I do kind of for fun.
Sure.
And I go on there, I post stuff. I try to not post the same thing every time. So anybody that's got a business page or anything, everything I post isn't real estate. There's 4 things I post on social media. It's personal life, so like family, stuff like that. It's educational stuff, so I'll do videos. It's stuff about real estate, so market reports, things like that. And then the 4th thing is the humor. So I post memes and stuff like that, probably relating to me or my business. And then the very last thing I do is the organic old school way, which is door knocking, cold calling. It's just going out there. You get credibility when you're going out to people's houses and they meet you face to face.
Sure.
So those are the kind of the 3 things I focus on.
Okay. Are there any aspects of marketing that you would like to branch into that you aren't doing already?
Well, yeah, social media marketing, I did that for a while. When I first started, I feel like that's kind of the lazy way when you just buy ads and then you get leads from your ads. And I was in depth with it. I did a lot of research. One thing I found is it was bringing me a lot of leads, but they weren't very qualified or they wouldn't answer. And I think that was one of the first mistakes I did was, I had to go old school with it, do the door knocking and the cold calling. That's just kind of the icing on the cake is if you do all that and then you're generating business. So social media marketing will probably be a good first step. Other than that,
going beyond the ads at least and trying to build brand, is that what you're...
Right, trying to build a brand. I just want people to know me.
Right.
So as long as people, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
You're exactly right. So do you find it helpful to be a part of eXp, or is it just kind of a means to be out there helping buyers and sellers?
Helping, yeah. The brokerage, in my case, doesn't really... they have helpful courses and classes. They have classes every day online. So it's very helpful, especially with the people in the company that help you out. We're a team-based brokerage, so you hear of other brokerages, they... all the agents are kind of selfish is what you hear. But here, we're all a team, so that helps. But the reality is in this business, you just got to go out and do it yourself.
Sure.
You have to do it yourself. And
it's like that in a lot of them. You got to be able to have the boots on the ground and actually do the, walk the walk.
Right. And when you first start, you'll need a mentor. And it would help to be on a team if you're a new agent and you want to join a team where they provide you some leads and then they can help you with some in-person training. That may help, but like I said, you just got to get out and do it.
So is there anything that you're reading, watching, or listening to that's helping you to build your business and be a better agent for the clients that you serve?
Yeah, I love reading. I have so many books. I actually just bought 4 new books. I bought this book called Sell It Like Searhant, where it's a book by Ryan Searhant. He does, I think, $1 million listing New York or something.
Okay.
And he talks about sales and follow up and stuff like that in that book. I bought a book called If You're Not First, You're Last, written by Grant Cardone. He's one of my favorites. If you listen to Grant Cardone, you probably hear some of him coming out of me, but yeah, that book basically says that if you're not in the forefront of people's mind when it comes to a particular product, then you're last because they'll go to the person who's in front of their mind. But a couple of my favorite books are Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Absolutely. That's a great one.
He also wrote a pretty good book. I'm almost finished with it for a second time, called Cash Flow Quadrant. That's a really cool book. I like the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, written by Jay Palpazan.
Okay.
So he worked with Keller Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some Grant Cardone books, Sell or Be Sold. And then he has the Closer Survivor Guide, which is just a bunch of closes and stuff like that. If you're in sales, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I also listen to a lot of podcasts. There is Real Estate Rockstars with Pat Hyben. He interviews a lot of realtors. I pick up a lot of useful tips by there. I listen to a lot of Grant Cardone stuff. He talks a lot about sales and marketing. And Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay, yeah. He's a very popular one, and he gets from across the spectrum. It's not just the comedy aspect or the MMA, because he has his thumbs in so many pies. He's able to get a wide variety of listenership. What was the last nonfiction book that you read?
So nonfiction mean not real?
Well, yeah, just like it could be a business book or basically just not fiction, not a made-up story.
Not a made-up story. Well, I've been reading Sell Like Searhan. I've been crushing that book. I'm already halfway through, probably after a couple days. So Sell Like Searhan is a good book about sales and real estate. Plus, he's a pretty good author if he actually wrote the thing. And like I said, I'm finishing up Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. That is probably a must-read if you're an entrepreneur in business and stuff like that. But yeah, I try to read 20 pages a day, so 10 pages in the morning, 10 pages at night before I go to bed. So there you go, nonfiction book.
So you seem to have routines as part of your day. Tell us a little bit about your morning and or evening routines that help drive you to be successful in the real estate field.
Yeah, I'm a big routine guy. I took Tom Ferry's The Perfect Day routine or something like that, which says, so I pretty much wake up at 6 a.m. to 6 to 7. I'm exercising, I do cardio or yoga in the morning. So from 6 to 7, I do that. And then from 7 on to like 9, I'm reading, I'm eating breakfast, I'm just getting ready, taking a shower. And then from, I got the time messed up, but from like 10 to 12, that's your prospecting time. So you want to be doing prospecting positive activities. And then after 12, you have lunch. And the whole goal is in the morning is you set up appointments in the afternoon. And if you don't have appointments, then you keep prospecting. Obviously, I'm not perfect at it every day, but I try to be, because discipline is one of the things that are going to keep you in business, because you have to be consistent and disciplined, or else you're just going to slip off and then somebody else is going to take your spot.
Gotcha. So when you aren't working with your clients, trying to get them into homes or sell homes, what can we see you doing around St. Pete?
Around St. Pete, well, I have a big network of friends, so we'll always find stuff to do, go kayaking or go watch a football game. We'll have game night. We'll go camping. Fort DeSoto right here has this really cool campsite. It's not very expensive either, so we'll go pitch a tent. We'll get a fire started. And then, if he hasn't mentioned, we're sitting at a kava bar, which I like hitting up the kava scene because the alcohol just makes me feel so crappy. I drink, I get tired, I have a hangover the next day, and I'm $50 broke. So I've been going to these kava bars because there's a lot of locations, and that's actually one of the things I've been doing to try to drum up more business. I'll hang out here with my laptop or a book, or I'll meet people up here, and there's a lot of people that come here. There's not a whole lot of realtors, so I'm pretty much in a wide open space. But I like, drinking kava and just hanging out here. So I like to read, and I like to go to the gym. I try to go to the gym at least 3 days a week. That's hard to keep up, but I want to be more of a gym rat.
Okay. What do you have upcoming in quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 of 2020? Events that we might see you out and about, or something big that's happening that you know that you'll be a part of?
Well, I try to be social and hit up the networking circuits a lot. I really don't have anything planned for myself because all I really have planned this year is just to hustle and work. So I do have a lot of clients in my pipeline who are going to be buying a house in 6 months, or people who are looking right now. So I've been trying to fill up my year, which is business, So the whole year I'm having something to do.
Okay. Where can people find out more about you and eXp to engage your services? We're talking websites, social media handles, and the like, so they can connect with you.
Yeah, you can find me. You can just Google my name, Trent A. Smith. You can go on Facebook, Trent A. Smith. You can add me as a friend. My business page is just Trent A. Smith Realtor. So I go on there, I post about, listings or open houses, stuff like that. So yeah, there you go, social media. And if you want to join eXp, you can also contact me on there if you're a new agent or you're looking to switch brokerages. I'm looking to add some more people on, so you can contact me through there too about joining eXp. Or if you know anybody looking to move or sell their home, you can contact me through there as well. I'm also helping people out nationwide because I have access to all these agents. I will find the right agent for you. If you're over in Wisconsin or something moving and you're listening to this, I can help you there too.
Awesome. Trent, it was a pleasure. I want to thank you very much for participating in Hustleburg.
Okay, thanks, Brett.
Hey, you did it! You've just listened to Hustleburg. To thank you for listening, we have a free guide to help you get started marketing your business online, aptly named our Getting Started Guide, available at beyondyoursidehustle.com/gettheguide. See how to begin with the first 3 things you should be doing for your business. Speaking of businesses, if you're a small business owner in St. Pete and you'd like to be a guest on an episode of the podcast, please let us know at beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcastguest. If you got something of value from this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app. This is something small that you can do to help us shine the spotlight on all the great businesses St. Pete has to offer. The music in this episode is Defining Your Dreams by my friend Rhymer Educator. You can listen to his latest single, The Last One, on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to great music. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to sharing with you how we do business in the Burg.